What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, lobaggers? Happy Tuesday morning to all of you. It is 11 a.m. Eastern, and you are watching us on odds.com. Yesterday was irritating. Did okay in NHL, 2-1 plus 1.05 units. Lost 0.10 units in NCAA basketball. But in NBA, I got crushed, and it was all my fault. It wasn't bad luck. Taking the Timberwolves first quarter when they cover and they win every other quarter in the game, But not listening to our man David Sharp when he told me the Grizzlies lost 8 straight first halves. They cover full game, they lose first half. Not listening to Viper when he told me not to bet the Cavs. And it was more than just Viper in that situation. It was me not listening to you guys. The whole idea of my ROI climbing, now that we're live every day together, is based on working with you guys. And for some reason, I got bullheaded in NBA, and it cost me money. I've cut my unit size down in NBA to half of a full unit, which is $100. I cut down $100. So it wasn't a devastating night financially, but it was all my fault. It wasn't bad luck. It was just shit capping, and it made me very upset. And NBA is a dangerous sport, but any sport is dangerous when you start chasing and you see the losses pile up. And this is my 4th year publicly betting NBA in front of you, and I've had this healthy fear of NBA. And 3 years in a row, I've been up double-digit units at the end of the season and being proud of it. And now NBA is beating me, and it's tough to take. It's tough to take. So I'm looking forward to cap with you guys here. We have a nice 4-game NBA card. We have a beautiful card, and this is not going to last for us because we are 48 hours away from MLB starting, and then it's just going to be high-octane capping. But I've been extremely angry for the last 12 hours, and just getting on here, being on the show with you guys has already made me start feeling a little better. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We have a lot of work to do. Nuke worker in the house. Busy day in the dungeon of Darlington Nuclear. Thank you. You are a good man. Best of luck up there. And let's see what he's on. Zags and the Wolverines. So backing favorites. Now, I am on UCLA and USC, but UCLA, look, and I did bet them when they first came out at 7.5, but it was late at night, and I didn't tweet it out. So I did tweet it out at 7. Like, I'm not going to tweet out and say, oh, I got a better line than what's out right now. But it's just going for a middle. As you guys know, I'm on Michigan to win it all at 16-1. There's Mally Mal in the house. TJ Main, Brian Watson ready to go. Florida regulation. That's a very interesting bet without Barkov and Ekblad, their best centerman and best defenseman. But I can understand them stepping up in that first game or second game without that. And there it is. There he is. Nilo says, let's go, Jimmy. Bounce back Tuesday. Nilo, what a guy. It is his birthday. And he comes out saying, bounce back Tuesday. No, Nilo, happy birthday, my man. How much love we have for you. You are such a great guy. Your energy is magic, man. And I love capping with you. I love hanging out with you. So happy birthday, Nilo, my man. 43 years young, our Nilo. Happy birthday, my man. And also, right below Nilo is our man, Matt Randall, 3-0 with his taint play of the day. 3-0. Beavers saved the taint. You were always going to cash it, baby. Always going to cash it. Matt Randall says MLB is locked and loaded for tomorrow. I thought the MLB season started on Thursday. You have me panicking. K-Paul VIP in the house. We got Bled's W. Said Taint had me a little scared. Gerald Jones ready to get to work. Michael Irvalina in the house. Eddie Euler. I don't think I've been quite wrong about Tyson Barrie. And he's helped you guys, but Darnell Nurse is your best defenseman. And watch Tyson Barrie buckle. Watch him completely buckle for you guys. He's had a good offensive opportunity being on the first line of defense and getting power play minutes with Connor McDavid. So I admit, Eddie Euler, that at this point, me shitting all over him probably doesn't look good. But mark my words, when the going gets tough, he will let you down. If you don't think there's a reason why Joe Sakic did whatever it was necessary to get him away from Cale Makar, Samuel Girard, and Bowen Byram, whatever he could, he had to get him out of that dressing room. So, Eddie Oiler, you're right. He's played well so far this year, but watch him let you down. But you're right. He's had a good year. And it's a nice spot he's in. He's a nice spot. All right, let's keep rolling. And Eddie Oiler is on the Devils Bruins under 5.5. And that's been going under and under and under. But notice, let's see if it's back. It's back. It's back on the board. Okay. They took it off the board. The COVID situation with the Bruins is very difficult to get enough information on it, and it's a strange spot. Penny Bombs in the house. Juan Ruiz. Slats 45 hit nice on the Oilers and Jets. I wish I had moved on the Jets. Push on the total. Only lost Flyers regulation, of course, tailed the taint. Tonight, Bruins under. Had it Sunday 1-0. Tampa minus 1.5. Torts is done. I love that. And Slats, I was on the fence about the Oilers and humming and hawing, and then you pushed me in the right direction. So, and look, if that was so necessary to my night, it would have been even though NBA's half units, it would have been a devastating night had you not pushed me in that direction. So I'm very, very thankful. And you weren't the only one. A lot of you guys did. Yes, George, it was very, very ugly. Very ugly. And you know what? It's tough. It's tough. The one thing I can always promise you is honesty and transparency. And sometimes it's going to be, embarrassing. Fucking embarrassing, man. And what can I do other than face it, man? Heartbreak. It sucks. It fucking sucks, man. Slats 45 says Hutchinson delivers again. He could be their starter for some time. Yes, I've heard that as well. A lot of injury stuff going on. Wow. Okay, I'm a little behind here. I'm way behind on the comments. Wow. Okay, let's get through here quickly and just shout out to all you guys for joining us. Thank you, Nick Dillard in the house. Trot Wham! Puzzler, a.k.a. Canas Cat. Sharp Money. Yes, it was ugly. Marlon Z. Running nice here. Penny Bombs on Florida minus 1 plus 100. It's interesting. The amount of cappers believing that this Panthers team will step up in the face of all these injuries. And I won't fade them right now. I'm going to start fading them every day soon. I won't fade them game one. I'm certainly not going to back them. And I've made no bet so far. There's my guy, Shane Illwise. Illwise in the house. Great to see you, Illwise. David Sharp tried to get me off of the Grizzlies, but I would not listen. And Eddie Oilers on Devils Bruins under 5.5. Wow, hitting at 53%. That's impressive, David Sharp. We got Jerry Beatty. That says Montreal's a great look tonight. All these teams that have come back from COVID have come back flying, but I'm still scared to make a move. There's Gloria K in the house. D. Summers, our guy, David. Oh, man. So David's had very tough, difficult time with an illness in the family, and he's being the leader and showing strength and being the man of the family. And it looks like things are improving there. And it's just wonderful, wonderful news. And David went out for drinks a couple days ago with his wife, and there was Penny Hardaway at the bar. So that was a lot of fun. Great story. Brian Warner, there's Earl Sports. Earl Sports on USC plus 8.5, Michigan minus 7. I hope. I did get USC at plus 9. There's Yellow Jesus here to bless our picks. OG Lowbagger Yellow Jesus. There's diehard MMA podcast. Our man Clint in the house. Antoine Seymour back in action. We need more Antoine Seymour. Michael Overland says, Jimmy, Michigan first half is low hanging fruit. Look, I've got $200, but I got $200 on Michigan at 16-1. I'm gonna do a little middle here and just watch the game happily in a can't lose situation. That's what I'm gonna do. Nilo, you are a good man. Happy birthday. All right, we got a lot of work to do, and we got a great card to do it in. So, Fat win in the house. Vincente Gigante, USC money line for Vincente. What a great capper he is. Big balls. Big balls. Yellow Jesus says, take my Sixers on the first half tonight. That sounds very interesting. Can't wait to break down these games because we're going to get to spend some time. Shane, Lord knows I miss your taint. It's been too long. Okay, that got me. That got me. Okay, Bleds W in the house. And let's get to work. Johnny K, ready to go on Devil's Money Line. Jerry Beatty, Matt Janning. Wow, Matt Janning, a spectacular college basketball career for Matt Janning, and he turned that into a glorious career over in Europe. We have sports royalty, Matt Janning in the house. Thank you for joining us, Matt Janning, playing professionally over in Spain right now. Still making time for betting with the bag. My guy, Matt Janning, what an honor it is to have him in our chat. Brian Warner says, I was about to pull the trigger on the Sabres money line for Wednesday. We had a lot of guys believing in that spot. It was sort of a heartbreak watching them not come through. There's DJ Big Boss in the house that's fade the shit out of USC. Wow. Okay. Well, we have a great schedule today, and it's going to be over soon. We're going to be bombarded. When baseball comes in 48 short hours. So this is our last sort of relaxing day where I don't need to talk too fast. I take a lot of heat for talking too fast, and I apologize. One of the reasons why I talk fast is to get through NHL, because I know not all of you love NHL the way some of us do. All right, let's get to work. We are going to start 7 p.m. Eastern, and Matt Randall having questions for Matt Janning. It's very, very exciting to have Matt Janning in our chat. Xavier Oliver ready to get to work. Spenny Penny Bombs and Eddie Euler on Gonzaga, Michigan money line parlay, keeping it simple. And Kevin Pine, big win on the Jets, Oregon State, and Baylor game over. Might be going against my Rangers tonight. And great to have you, Kevin. And a big shout out to our Yenny Toon OG Lowbagger. He's now on Twitter, finally. And he makes big boy bets. I mean, this guy, he's gambling for a living, and he makes big boy bets. And I put him on the Flyers -1, but he was in the casino. He didn't bother putting in -1. He put it in the money line, so I was thankful that came through for him. But then he made a big bet on the Jets last night. I was happy to see that cash. Okay, so let's get into NHL. Quickly go over the NHL record here. We're coming off a 2-1-1 day. We pushed on the Flyers -1. New York, Pitt under 5.5 was an easy casher. Islanders at -115 was a loss, and then the Oilers +120 got us into profit for the day. I still had that 0-5 Saturday. That's fucking the reason why I'm not plus units. But my average line is going down. It's now just at +123. Haven't been taking the big puck lines. I'm 84 wins, 95 losses, down 2.4 units. ROI -1.34%. And let's get to work. Matt Shedden says Gonzaga's won by 10 or more for the last 26 games, having a 5-point win against West Virginia when they were playing their best ball, not to mention USC's terrible free throw shooting. Yes, I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. Johnny K says, I don't know, I could see OT here. So we're going to start with NHL. We have 7 games. It's sort of the bulk of the action today. Then we're going to move into 4 NBA games, and I'm going to be listening more than I have been. And with the unit size down to $100, I'm just going to keep shooting and putting my record out, as embarrassing as it is. It's happening. And then we have 2 giant games in NCAA basketball. So let's have some fun, and I feel better rolling with you guys right now. All right. Jojo Rich ready to go. Well, we start with New Jersey Devils 13-16-4, 9-5-2 on the road at Boston Bruins, 17-9-5, 8-4-2 at home. We're at TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. We have the Bruins opening up at -200. They're down to between -185 and -205, but they are down. Let's go to the total. Now, this Bruins team is not scoring. The total's at 5.5. It's moved to 5 in a couple books. I hesitate to back an under after a 1-0 hockey game. That's just my own bullshit. Skins fan forever in the house. Mr. Gokster says Brad is skating this morning, could be in. Johnny K says, believe in them Sharks yet. That was awesome work by you guys. And there's Viper. Viper, listen, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. I'm going to listen. And what did Loshak teach us? What did the legend Peter Loshak teach us? Is to listen. And I got all thick-headed like an asshole, and I have to pay the consequences. and I paid in my wallet, and I was thinking, God, Viper tried to get me off this shit. Bloods W, I promise that we will have Loshak back in action. We all miss him very, very much. He's a spectacular guy. So let's start breaking it down, but I'm not going to be on this under 5.5 heavily juiced. I don't like minus 135 totals. And, we all know what a minus 135 has. And we don't have Gin Rummy in the chat these days, and we miss him. Even though I know he can be hard on us sometimes. But a minus 135 total, you need a 57.45% implied probability. And I don't know. And look, if you're talking about this Bruins team that has Jake DeBrusk, Sean Crowley, and Brad Marchand and out of the lineup, then sure. Then absolutely, definitely take the under. Mackenzie Blackwood, 9-9-1, 2.82 goals against average, 9-11 save percentage, 1 shutout. Yaroslav Halak, 7-5-3, 2.17 goals against average, 9-19 save percentage, 2 shutouts. And look, Ludi Ruff doing a hell of a job over there. They're playing strong defensively. They're doing this without any kind of special teams. The Devils' power play, 13.5%. Their penalty killing, 73.2%. Bruins are sitting at 22.7% power play, 89.2% penalty killing. They just played to that 1-0 Devils win on Sunday. Mackenzie Blackwood stopped 40 shots. And, 1 goal went in, but was called back because of goalie interference. Bergeron had the puck, possibly over the line, but not fully over the line with a few seconds left. They were snake bit. They weren't getting bounces. Devils are now 4-0-1 against Boston this season, with each game decided by a goal. So that's going to be in the dressing room. They're going to be talking about this. The Devils have beaten up on the Bruins this year. New Jersey's won 5 of 8. They remain without their captain, Nico Hischier, who's recovering from surgery to parafrontal sinus fracture. And single goal margin, letting us know by Nilo. And here comes Al Mack in the house. Says the draw is cashed at 25% rate in games this season, with the favorite on the 3-way line between minus 150, minus 100, turning a profit of plus 16.25 units. Close your eyes, plug your nose, and bet the draw. Wow. Very, 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 very interesting. Here we go. We got regulation money line market trends. Right there, betting regulation money line. Thank you for sharing that out. Hit that link and check that out. Brady says Devils are the play, and I'm not saying that they're not. Gas station sushi in the house. The legend, gas station sushi. The Bruins have lost 2 or 3. And before COVID, this is when a team would start rolling. 7-game homestand, game 3 of that homestand. But Marchand missed the second straight game with COVID protocol. He's got 12 goals, 22 assists. Jake DeBrusk and Sean Crowley are also in protocol, and that's a lot to take out of this lineup that doesn't have a lot of depth. The perfection line still has been strong this year. It's the rest of the Bruins lineup that's a problem. And, I thought, and I would begun writing it until I researched it more, I thought the perfection line had been poor this year, but they haven't been. Pasternak is on pace, if this was an 82-game season, to play 75 games, score 44 goals, and get 84 points. I mean, that's not far off his 48 goals and 95 points last season. And Marchand is actually scoring at a higher pace than he was last year. It's Krejci, 1 goal in 27 games. DeBrusk and Andre Case were supposed to deliver all this secondary scoring. Case has only played in 2 games because of an upper body injury, and DeBrusk has 7 points in 21 games. They've also been hit hard with injuries to their D-line. John Moore is done for the season. Brandon Carlo and Kevin Miller are close to making a much-needed return. They'll be back at some point on this homestand. Mr. Goldster says he's on the over here. Skins fan forever. Yes, we have Prince of the Cities, our tennis expert, but definitely jump in. Definitely jump in. Matt Reed talking about the Jets looking good last night. No doubt about it. Eddie Oler talking about that weak Devils power play at 13.5%. So this is a COVID spot to me where I can't fully detail what my angle is going to be unless I know if Brad Marchand is going to be there. Because I tell you what, if Corrali, DeBrusk, and Marchand are there in the lineup, well, then maybe I've talked myself into Boston on the puck line. But how far will it move? if they're all announced in the lineup? Will it move to – because the market is slowly responding to what Boston is right now, and that's an average hockey team that is barely holding on to that fourth seed in the playoffs in the division, right? The only top four make it each side. So with that being said, I'm staying off. And Mr. Ghost says, big news just coming out. Lines will start moving. Yellow Jesus on the Devils first period money line, and the Czar coming in. Oh, look at this. Well, first let's go with the Czar. Zion over 27.5 points. Pals parlay. Oh, beautiful. You did. I thought about you, Czar, when I saw Harden go for 13 assists. And the Puzzler giving a shout out to our Penny Bombs, who has repeatedly demonstrated his talents in an admirably wide array of sports. There we go from the Puzzler. I gotta love the Puzzler. Robert Cherry on the Bruins under 5.5. Okay, so Mally Mal says sounds like Boston revenge today. Mally Mal, that's what it sounds like. And if Marchand is in the lineup, I think that's what it will be. We must wait. Keep our ear to the streets. We move on. 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, I've made no moves at all. No bets. Wanted to talk everything out with you guys. We move on to Capitals, New York Rangers, and my gut was telling me to take the under. The problem is that these offenses can be so electric that just like in that last game, it can be 0-0 after the first period. 3-0 after 2, like you're about to catch the under, and end up 5-4 with 6 goals scored in the third period. David Sharp, it does. Ooh, look at our gas. Our guy got a piece of the Mando pick 6 payout yesterday at Mahoning. Cool, $7,500 from a 64 investment. Oh, man. Incredible. What a guy. I promise there's more horses coming. Promise we'll be talking about it very soon. All right, let's go. Capitals, 23-7-4, 10-3-2 on the road at New York Rangers, 15-15-4, 7-6-3 at home. Now, I've been getting a lot of credit for the Capitals' futures bets. Now at 23-7-4. But I got to give credit where credit's due. And our man Birdie was bullish on the Capitals. As soon as Chara moved over to the Capitals, Birdie was talking about how this is a must-win time for Chara. That's why he's coming over to the Capitals, to win the Cup this year, and that he will create the kind of accountability that we get from, a Sidney Crosby. And it was Birdie that pushed it. And we attacked. I first attacked at 13-1, then I attacked at 16-1. And then I made an official pick here on the show at 22-1, and I bet it again at 22-1. And let's give credit where credit is due. And Spenny says this Saturday, it's huge. I would love to be back in action this Saturday. There's Albert Ross. Now it's great to see you, Albert. We've missed you. I would love to be back this Saturday, and I can't. I've got a very important family function that I have to be a part of. But they do know that, and to give you guys a hint of what might be coming, that's my last function on a Saturday, until after the Belmont. So there was a little hint that's going on. And Dennis says Keeneland starts Friday. So trust me, we're going to be talking a lot about this soon. But let's get back to action. Okay, so here we go. This is I find this game fascinating. I find these two teams extremely exciting to watch. We have a total at 6 right now, and I still think that seeing these teams over and over again, it creates a lot of anger on the ice. And these are rivals, and they don't like each other. And I'm interested in this under 6. I'm quite interested in this under 6. Thank you, Bailey. And let's go quick money line talking. And I know that, just because we don't only have 13 games on the entire card in NBA, NHL, and NCAA, I've been going a little slower than I should be. Rangers open up as a pick'em, and that's where they stand right now. And that alone got me questioning why. Why would it be a pick'em here when the Capitals are 10-3-2 on the road against a team that's 7-6-3 at home? They're playing such good hockey. They've won 14 of 16. They're now tied with the Lightning for top spot in the NHL, and yet it's a -110. And here comes Birdie saying, The New York Rangers are the play today, but like yesterday in the pick game, I'm not stepping in front of the Capitals, but I do believe this is a New York Rangers spot. And Birdie says, I love the under. Well, that might be enough for me to push me towards it. Okay, so Madison Square Garden, New York, New York. Now, I'm expecting Ilya Samsonov to be in net, but a lot of people think it's going to go back to Vitek Vanacek. 14, 5, and 3, 2.67 goals against average, 9-10 save percentage. Rashad Davids, my man, thank you for joining us. You were great yesterday, and thank you for being back in action. Mally Mouse says that's a sign the Rangers are closing in on the W. Ill Wise says Rangers under 6 play of the day. That makes it very appealing to me to pull the trigger, and I just wanted to talk it out with everyone. Mally Mouse says if it's Vanacek, take the Rangers, and Mr. Gokster says I think it's Vitek, but it's not confirmed. Rashad, I was thinking about you when the over cashed, and no, I didn't. No, I was an ass clown yesterday. I wasn't listening. I was bullheaded, and I paid the consequences. Needle says the under's 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between these two teams, and it's that last game that's in everybody's head. I was wondering if money would come in on the over. Capitals power play 23.5%, 81% penalty killing. Rangers power play 18.4%, 85.2% penalty killing. And Igor Shesty will likely be an elite goaltender in our league for the next, let's give him 5 years. I get a little nervous when these goalies get over 30, but Shesterkin really seems like he's a spectacular goalie. 2.34 goals against average, 9.24 save percent. Capitals are rolling. They just defeated these Rangers in Washington on Sunday in the first half of this home in a 5-4 win. They were up 4-0 5 minutes in the third, and then they had to hold on for dear life to get the W. And that's the problem with taking an under with these teams, because you're never going to be safe. The Capitals have been outscored 40-34 in the third periods this season. That's not good for a first-place team, but they have such big leads going into the third period that they're actually 18-1 when leading at the second intermission. Tom Wilson scored 2 goals, 5 points in his last 4 games. Ovechkin has 11 goals in 11 games, leads his team. We said as soon as Kuznetsov gets hot, this team will roll. Kuznetsov has 12 points in 10 games. Jacob Verana picked up his first point in 5 games. They need to get him going. Samsonov has started 2 in a row for the second time this season. He's been rotating with Vanacek, and they're playing without Lars Eller. Rashad, you've missed nothing. You've missed nothing other than the big Bruins game. We had to review. I had to get out of my anger, so you've really missed nothing. Okay, but I didn't move on Boston. In fact, if I hear that the guys who are dealing with COVID come back into the lineup, then I will maybe make a move on the Bruins. I will. In fact, if DeBrusk and Marchand and Corrali are in, I'm going to back the Bruins on the puck line. So Rangers coach David Quinn was back behind the bench. He's missed the past 6 games in COVID protocol. They've lost back-to-back 1-goal games after a 3-game winning streak. 2011 5th overall pick Ryan Strome is carrying on from where he left off last year. He's having his first great season in the NHL. 11 goals, 32 points in 34 games. The 27-year-old looked destined for big things when, as a 22-year-old, he had that big season with the Islanders, 50 points. But then he fell off. And we talk about the terrible mismanagement the Edmonton Oilers have done building around McDavid and Draisaitl. They had this kid. 1 goal and 1 assist in 18 games, and the Oilers traded him for Ryan Spooner, who hasn't been in the NHL in 2 years. Just terrible judgment. Last season was a sign of how good Strome can be, and I've not been a believer, but I am now. 59 points in 70 games last year to go along with a plus 21. Who else is rolling on the Rangers? Adam Fox. Big year for the Blue Shirts. 29 points in 33 games. 17 of those points have come on the power play. 17 of his 29 points on the power play. Buchnevich, Panarin have both been strong. Zibanejad is heating up. The Rangers are too good to be languishing in 6th place in their division with little hope or no hope of making the playoffs. It's very strange. Very, very strange. Okay, so the under 6, I wish we were sitting here seeing movement on the over, and then I could say, well, let's just wait. Let's go to the leading indicator books and see if there's been any movement. There hasn't. There's movement in the leading indicator books towards the under. Legitimate, real movement. Okay, I'm in. I am in. Under 6, and we'll see what I get it at. Next up, Blue Jackets, Tampa Bay Lightning. Columbus Blue Jackets 13-15-8, 6-9-2 on the road. The Tampa Bay Lightning 24-8-2, 13-2-0 at home. I agree, Birdie. Coming off of COVID is not a good thing, but we've seen teams come out, and these guys, no one tested positive. Marchand didn't test positive, or he'd be out for more than 2 games. And Eddie Ole has Caps Rangers at 6.2 off the total. Yeah, it's I get it, Eddie. And Curtis. Under 6 is at 105. Oh, McElhaney. Sorry, I was like, what the hell? Okay, McElhaney is what you're talking about. No Vasilevsky back in Columbus first period. Wow. Big news. Thank you, Mr. Gokster, for sharing it. That's a big move that will change this market very quickly, that Vasilevsky will not be in net. And yet, I still don't trust either of these hockey teams, either of them. So I was off, and I'm going to stay off. Very interesting. Thank you so much for that information. So if you guys are betting the Jackets, get in immediately. And if you're betting the Lightning, wait. All right. We're at Amalie Arena. Elvis Merzlikins, 5'5" and 2.86 goals against, average 9.13, save percentage, one shot. We expect him to be in net. I expected Vasilevsky to be in. Jackets power play 14.9%. How? With Werenski and Seth Jones and then Laine. But they moved Texier to the taxi squad. He was supposed to be the center of that power play. And it's just bad coaching. Penalty killing 75.9. Lightning power play 27.7% and penalty killing 81.8%. No, Vitalis, my man. We don't have a taint play of the day, but it is 3-0 so far when we're back live. Okay, here we go. This total sitting at 5.5, and there's been a move right now towards the under, which will go away. So if you like the over, bet it now. And it probably makes sense to move on this under with McElhaney in that. But again, I probably need more study. But it probably is an over 5.5 spot. Mally Mal liking the over. Oh, okay. So Columbus opens up at plus 185. They're now all the way up to plus 210, but that's going to come down. And here we have Al Mack with great stuff here. Tampa Bay, the best team to back over the last 2 years when coming off a loss. A great article to check out. Great stuff, Al Mack. So we're halfway through NHL, then we're going to get to NBA and NCAA basketball. And Mr. Gokster says also Columbus' first game in Tampa since they swept Tampa Bay in the playoffs. Wow. And Nilo saying 1-4 in the last 5 meetings. Johnny K on the under, even with McElhaney in that. Okay, let's go. Blue Jackets have lost 4 straight. They've been outscored 14-5 over those games. The last 2 came in embarrassing fashion. 3-1 and 4-1 on back-to-back days, Saturday and Sunday, at the second worst team in the league, the Red Wings. The problem is that you have to back if you take the over, you need the Jackets to provide at least 2 goals. And I don't know if you're going to get that. They managed 17 shots on goal on the Wings' third stringer, Calvin Picard. I always mess that up. Picard. Zach Werenski and Seth Jones coming into the season as the number 1 defensive pair in the NHL, and they've been bad. Jones is 19 points in 36 games. He's a minus 11. Werenski has 14 points and is a minus 9. And, it's time we start calling people out. And Jarmo Kekalainen, who's been just lavished with praise year after year since he's come into the job as the first Finnish general manager in the NHL. Well, he's made giant mistakes. He's done a shit job, and he should be fired. He traded for his countryman, Patrick Laine. It's dangerous to trade for a countryman because obviously you love the guy and you want him to succeed, and maybe it blurs what you're seeing out there because he's a minus 13 in 26 games. 7 goals he's got in the Blue Jacket uniform in 26 games. He's playing terrible. Kekalainen traded 6'3", 226-pound Josh Anderson. All teams crave a player like Josh Anderson. They crave him. He's fast. He can hit hard. He's tough as nails, and he can score. He's the prototype. I mean, you have Tom Wilson, then you have like Josh Anderson, and then you have Ryan Reeves, and they're all extremely valuable. But big body toughness that can skate and score for 5'10", 190-pound Max Domi. You can do none of those things. Domi has 5 goals. He's a minus 14 in 36 games. The Jackets were once a tough team to play, one that swept these Lightning out of the playoffs. Now they're soft as a blueberry muffin. And who do you blame? Jarmo Kekalainen. Say it with me. Yarmo, you've done a shit job this year. Who cares how well you've done in the past? At the end of the season, Kekalainen and Tortorella should both be fired. John Schwartz, you got Schwartzy baby in the house. My pleasure, Vitalis. Eddie O says Fonzie benching Line right off the bat was a mistake. I agree completely. He's just not. And moving Texier to the taxi squad when you know that this Frenchman sniper is one of the guys that's supposed to lead you out of it. Shit job. The Lightning have lost 2 straight when they were in the midst of their 5-game winning streak. I mentioned on the show that these wins have been underwhelming, and yet I didn't have the balls to fade them in these last 2 games. Now they get a 4-game homestand against Columbus and Detroit. And they should eat here. They're coming off a 4-3 loss to the Hurricanes on Saturday night. They were up 2-0 after the first and let the Canes back in. The Lightning have so much depth and skill that they should get back to their winning ways here quickly. Ryan McDonough and Eric Cernak are day-to-day. So all that being said, Lightning are angry. We've already heard Al Mack saying they're the best team of the last 2 years to bounce back from a loss, and yet I still don't trust them, and I don't trust them at minus 235, minus 250 or whatever, and now I don't trust them with Curtis McElhinney in there. So with all that said, Eddie Oiler says, I blame Fonzie more than the GM. His keen tactics aren't working anymore. I agree completely, Eddie Oiler, but there are certain people in the hockey world that don't have respect for that toughness, that truculence, that guy who gets his nose dirty, gets in the corners, leaves every game with bruised and cut up knuckles. And Kekalainen is one of them. So I blame him. I don't know how every team wasn't after Josh Anderson. All right. So, with that being said, I can understand the over with McElhinney in that. You have to think it's going to be offense on offense. You have to. You have to think it's going to be offense on offense. And here we go. We're getting the over at a minus 110. And it's going to go up fast. I should bet it right this second. That's what I should do. Is I should stop the show and bet it because the word that McElhinney is going to be out, this total is going to go up, up, up. So, yeah, so I agree. Over is the spot. You have an angry Tampa squad. Columbus is going to have to be offensive because Tampa's going to come firing at them out of anger. And I'm in. Over 5.5. And it is going up. So we'll see when I bet it. I'm not going to stop the show here. 7 p.m. Eastern, Red Wings, Florida Panthers. Red Wings 12-20-4, 3-12-1 on the road. Florida Panthers 22-9-4, 10-4-3 at home. BB&T Center, Sunrise, Florida. Is it Pickard or it's got to be Pickard? Calvin Pickard. It's got to be Pick. Because I know they call him Pick, but Detroit opens up as plus 200 dogs. Now you can get them anywhere between plus 190 and plus 200. This total is sitting at 5.5. I have it at minus 110. Nilo, did you refresh? Oh, wow. It just moved to 100. Wild. Thank you, Nilo. I didn't refresh. Eddie Oiler saying Barkov will not play tonight. No, he won't. And either will their stud defenseman, Aaron Ekblad. Birdie already took the under in the Detroit game. I'd sure love it if Drieger was in goal. Is Pickard going to keep playing this well? Sergei Bobrovsky confirmed for the Panthers. Okay, thank you for that heads up. And Fat parlayed Florida with Boston first period under. There's Trot Wham. So Pickard's going to be in goal again for the Red Wings. He's played 2 games. He already has as many wins as Grice had in 18 games. They love him. You should have heard the things Larkin was saying about him. They just love the kid. Wins power play 11.5%, penalty killing 72.3%. Panthers power play 24.8%, penalty killing 80.4%. Bobrovsky 13-5-2, 2.91 goals against average, 903 save percentage. And here he, taint cometh. The taint cometh. Michigan, UCLA over 134.5. Taint going for 4 in a row since we've gone live. Taint cometh. Okay. Mally Mal says, great to see Mally Mal. Oh, gee, low bagger in the house. Florida can score in bunches. Detroit's picked up their scoring against Columbus. What's the odds on the over? Right now, if you wanted the over, it's at 5.5, and it's a pick 'em. And some are slightly juiced to the under. This Juan Ruiz, my guy. Here he, taint cometh. The Red Wing snapped their ugly 3-game. Oh, and there is we got razor sharp picks in the house. My guy, Razor. subscribe to Razor Show on YouTube, Razor Sharp Picks, if you can. If you got time, subscribe. You will be very thankful that you have. He's building his subscribers. He goes live all the time. And he's an OG lowbagger whom we love dearly. The Red Wings snapped their ugly 3-game losing streak with a good-looking wins on back-to-back nights at home over Columbus on the weekend. During their 3-game losing streak, they outscored 12-1. In their 2-game sweep of the Jackets, they outscored Columbus 7-2. They beat the Jackets by riding third-stringer Calvin Pickard. The Wings were held the Jackets to just 17 shots. They need lottery picks badly, this team. Steve Yzerman at the helm. They're going to get good. They're stocking up draft picks. Philip Roenick has been their best player. Robbie Fabry is somehow a +6 on this team. And Dylan Larkin says the right things to the media. He leads this team by example, but he's not playing very well out there. He's not showing me that he's the guy to build around. Panthers have been better than anyone expected this year. They were tied for first in the NHL a couple weeks ago, shockingly. They recently snapped their 3-game losing streak by sweeping 2 games at Dallas on Saturday and Sunday. In the second win, they received the devastating news that their 2014 first overall pick Aaron Ekblad is out for 3 months because of a leg fracture. He was having the best season of his career. Now they're without Alexander Barkov and Aaron Ekblad, and I do not expect this to go well. But I'm not going to mess with them game 1. Game 1, they may rise up. But game 2, 3, 4, 5, fade. Spenny is still taking Florida -1. I hear you. Chris 1 just popping in to say sup. Thank you for joining us, Chris. Respect. Okay. Let's keep rolling. Next up, 7 p.m. Eastern, Edmonton Oilers, 22-13-1, 10-5-1 on the road at Montreal Canadiens, 14-8-9, 6-5-2 at home. It's a very, very important game and a very tricky cap. You have this Habs team that's been off for 10 days because of COVID issues against this Oilers team that played last night in a very important game when they won in overtime over the Leafs that we all jumped on, thanks to the great work of the chat. This total opened up at 6. It's where it is right now. There hasn't been much movement. It's juiced to the over. And Slats 45 for all things Habs. He's such a useful resource. Edmonton opens up at +115. You can get him from anywhere between +100 and +115. Slats says Habs have been off for 9 days. No Toffoli or Armia. Michael Frolik plays first game. Look at Oilers' first period. Leon and McDavid did not score last night. Dude, that's a great look. That is a great look. All right, we are in the Bell Center, Montreal, Quebec. I have seen games there. I've been in the Forum. Problem is, I was in the Forum after they stopped playing hockey games there. At the comedy club that I played at. But they still have a couple benches, and they still have the penalty box. Okay. Comedy Nest is the club there, and shout out to them in Montreal. Mikko Koskinen, 9-10-0. 3.11 goals against average, 903 save percentage. Carey Price, 10-5-5, 2.71 goals against average, 903 save percentage. Oilers power play, 26.6%. Their penalty killing, 76.7%. Canadiens, 23.8%. Power play, 76.4% penalty killing. Johnny K liking Edmonton here. Nice. Teron Hopkins back in action. Great to see you. Much love, Teron. Thank you for joining us. Edmonton on the second half of a back-to-back. Third game in 4 nights after defeating the Leafs 3-2 in overtime last night in Toronto. Darnell Nurse scored his 12th goal of the season. He leads all NHL blue liners. And he plays 25 minutes and 41 seconds a game. And he's a really good defenseman. He's coming into his own. Brady says, how are the Habs favored in this game? Does not make sense at all. Something seems shady here. How do you not take the Oilers at plus money? Makes no sense. And Birdie posting on Twitter that the Flyers come back at plus 1,000 after being down 3-0. That's what we do. We work as a team. I love it. Montreal was last seen 10 days ago. 5-4 win at home over the Canucks before COVID shut them down. The newly acquired Eric Staal's in COVID protocol. And look, I think it'll be a boost for Staal wearing the Habs jersey. Who wouldn't get excited about putting on that legendary jersey? And he'll probably play better. You know? He'll probably play better. Toffoli's still dealing with an injured leg, but he's begun practicing. They're pretty entrenched in this 4th place spot in the North Division. Jeff Petrie's been exceptional this year, 27 points in the plus. It's more than the +1. It's plus, sorry, I don't know. And the only one, plus 14. Now I remember exactly because Joel Edmondson is a plus 24. Unbelievable. Rob Watkins says, watch your show and you wouldn't put money on the Jets. Why do you think Sutter is a miracle worker? Oh, look, it was a mistake. It was a mistake, Rob. Rob's always on me about these Flames. Look, I didn't bet on the Flames. Okay, this game has got COVID market issues, COVID issues, shit going on that I'm very uncomfortable with, and I don't want to put money on it. All right, let's keep rolling. Robert Cherry says, wait 2 or 3 hours, take the Red Wings first period and whack them. I like it. Okay, let's keep rolling here. There's Jordy Nordman in the house. Nordy, ready to get to work. And we've got NBA coming up and NCAA after that. So we have 2 more games in the NHL. Let's get through them. John Garcia in the house. Great to see you, Johnny, my guy. And Dennis Garcia is saying essential quality draws the 4 in the bluegrass. Oof. God, just palms just start leaking when we talk horses. I just wish I could start on the Saturday, but okay. I gotta let that go. Oilers at Canadiens. We just talked about. Sorry, I hear it. Oh, God, I just want to bet horses so badly. 7:30 p.m. Carolina Hurricanes, 23-7-3, 12-6-0 at the Blackhawks, 16-15-5, 9-6-2. Slat says, Stahl said joining the Habs is phenomenal. Will help the kids at center. Jake Evans needs a break and we'll get it. Yeah, I agree. It's a special thing putting on that uniform, no doubt about it. Okay, United Center, Chicago, Illinois. So this is a game I really wanted to talk out. Carolina opening up at -165. They're now between -150 and -161. From a totals perspective, I was waiting for this to go up to 6. And it has at every book except a couple. Oh, no, it has gone up to 6 now. Wow, and a nice at 6. Okay. All right, so Eddie Lowe saying Hurricanes beat Blackhawks 5-3 last meeting. I would like to take the under in this game, and I was just waiting patiently for it to get to 6, and I thought it'd be more juice than it is. It's only juiced at -110, so tons of money coming in here on the over. Canes power play 30.2%. Their penalty killing 83%. And Bled says, is Subban in that? No, Lankinen is in. And look, I'm expecting Nedeljkovic in. So Blackhawks power play 27%, penalty killing 73.8%. So one of the concerns in the under, and the reason why I went from 5.5 to 6 is simply their power plays of these two squads. Now, the Canes have an 83% penalty killing. They can slow down the Blackhawks power play. The problem is that the Blackhawks penalty killing 73.8, and they can't slow down the Canes power play. Johnny K also liking this under. I love that it's gone up. Nedeljkovic, 8-2-2, 2.05 goals against average, 929 save percentage. He's been excellent this year. He might be their answer long term. And Kevin Lankinen's been so good. 12-8-4, 2.72 goals against average, 92 save percentage, 2 shutouts. The Hurricanes have won 3 straight. They're coming off a 4-3 win at home over the defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning. Martin Necas scored 2 goals and was in on all 4 goals. He's been excellent. 17 points in 13 games. So they have Trocheck and Teravainen out. And getting Necas coming in like this has been critical. Hurricanes played excellent. They outshot the Lightning 40-22. And not only that, but so they outshoot the Lightning 40-22. They lose the faceoff battle 36-24. Can you believe that? They outshoot the defending Stanley Cup champions 2-1 while losing 33% more faceoffs. 36-24. I mean, that's you win 33% of the faceoffs, and it's very, very impressive. This is a very dangerous hockey team. Spenny Pennybomb says, I was on Carolina every time. I bet against Chicago. They've been killing me. Lankinen. I stopped betting against Chicago early in the year. I've just stayed off their games. I've actually backed them against Florida last week, and we cashed that. That's the only time I backed them. After defeating the Panthers in the first 2 games of their homestand, they lost to the Predators in the last 2. The Blackhawks defense and goaltending has been much better than anyone expected. Their offense has slowed down. Patrick Kane has had an MVP-type season, 48 points in 36 games, but he has 2 goals in 13 March games. That makes me want to move to the other. When he doesn't create offense, the Blackhawks don't score. The Brinkat and Kubalik have been strong, especially the Brinkat. Kubalik's not scoring right now. They're getting a nice contribution from Pia Suter and Matthias Janmark. This is a very different team than I imagined, and who do we give credit to? When credit is due is Jeremy Collison. He's done a hell of a job. Without Captain Sirius, Johnny Taves in the lineup, a hell of a job. There is our guy, Nate Dogg, 420. Nate Dogg, 420, is now a father again. He's got a beautiful daughter, was born last week. So if we could all give Nate Dogg some love, part of a low bag family, OG low bagger. Sweaty Butcher in the house too, OG low bagger. Oh, look at Gergo Kostic. Says, listening to you guys while running in the park after work. Greetings from Eastern Europe. I love that. Okay. And Nate, you're getting love. Nate has a daughter. His daughter was born last week. Beautiful daughter came into the world. So, okay. So I'm going to move on the under. I was waiting for it to get to 6, and I'm going to move on it under 6. And, we shit on coaches. We shit on general managers when they do a shit job. Jeremy Colliton has done a hell of a job. Spectacular work. And so is Rod Brindamore on the other side. All right, final game on the card, Dallas Stars, Nashville Predators. The Stars are everything I hoped they were last year, this year, and I'm not making money off of it. God, this team is just the bane of my existence. 11. In fact, I'm losing money. I back them at times. 11, 12, and 9, 4, 6, and 2 on the road. Nashville Predators 18, 17, and 1, 9, 7, and 0 at home. Bridgestone Arena, Nashville, Tennessee. Anton Khudobin, I expect to be in net 6, 9, and 3, 2.53 goals against average, 907 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Mally Mal's on the Stars under. Eddie Weller says Nashville's quietly won 5 in a row. Yeah, not that quiet. I'm shocked. I'm agape. My mouth is agape. Nashville Predators 18-7-1, 9-7-0 homer, Bridgestone Arena. Pekka Rinne 9-11-1, 3.02 goals against average, 900 save percentage. Saros has been so good, but he's dealing with some sort of a lower body injury, so I expect Pekka Rinne to be in net. Stars power play 23.4%. Their penalty killing 76.8%. Predators power play 20.2%. Penalty killing 73.1. Stars have lost 6 of 8, coming up being swept on back-to-back in Florida on Saturday and Sunday. And this is the last NHL game, then we'll go into NBA. They played the whole year without Tyler Seguin, and Ben Bishop. They're leaders. Spenny's all over Nashville. Rupi Hintz has been hurt on and off. He's not 100%. Jamie Benn can't be counted on. But it seems like the biggest loss is Alexander Radulov. I mean, he's been hurt most of the year. He keeps trying to come back before he's 100%. He's a tough player who wants to win more than anything. And then Miro Heiskanen has been – I thought he was spectacular last year, and he has not taken that next step we expected of him. This team isn't very good. They're so lucky they have little Joe Pavelski to carry the load. Jimmy Benn has 5 goals in 28 games. Bomb. I said this Predators team was better without Matt Duchene on the ice. I didn't know they were going to go on this 5-game winning streak. Impressive. They are coming off sweeping the Blackhawks in Chicago on back-to-back on Saturday and Sunday. They're still dealing with injuries. As I said, Saros is hurt. Philip Forsberg has missed the last 2 games. Ryan Ellis and Borek remain out. Roman Yossi's come back and he's carried this hockey team. Oh, Eddie Oilers is Saros on the ice for morning skate. That's a good thing for the Predators. That's great, Eddie Oiler. God, I love everybody working together like this. And Birdie's NHL parlay for the day is up. Bruins, Devils under 5.5. Dallas, Nashville under 5.5, and Canes money line. Says, good luck if you're tailing. Our man Birdie. Eddie Oiler with some great stuff here. Last Dallas, Nashville went to shootout. So I got to stay away from these teams. Got to. Must. Got to. All right, so that leaves me with no sides. A rarity. I'm on the under 6 in Capitals Rangers. I'm on the over 5.5 in Jackets Lightning. And I'm on the under 6 in the Hurricanes Blackhawks. And I'm not sure why I'm not on the under in Detroit, Florida. Why would I not be on the under there? Pickett's playing good. There's no Barkov for Florida, so I don't expect Florida to score. And Detroit got those goals late against a Jackets team that just hates themselves. Why am I not on the under here? I have to move on the under here. Okay, so I'm adding the under 5.5 in Florida, Detroit. Wow. Okay, so a very strange card for me. Oh, it's going to be Pickard, without a doubt, Jerry. Bleds W doesn't like the under in the Caps game. I can understand that. All right, well, I like seeing Matty Randall, star of the team play today, say shooters shoot Jimbo, because we're moving into NBA, and I'm just on the worst run of my life, and it just got worse. 1-6 yesterday, and it's just atrocious. It's just awful. ROI minus 18.46%, and I don't know. It just hurts. So let's fix this. Let's work together and fix this. All right, welcome to our NBA coverage. We start 7 p.m. Eastern. Charlotte Hornets 23-22, 10-13 on the road at the Washington Wizards, 17-28, 10-14 at home. We're at Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. One of the things that angered me so much, I mean, yeah, the Timberwolves and Grizzlies, I shouldn't have. The Timberwolves, the only quarter I took them on, it was the only quarter they lost. And then the Grizzlies, I should have listened to David Sharp, but there were so many easy spots on the card. Like the Kings Spurs over, we had all these gifts given to us from the chat. Okay, Sharp Money, my man, be in touch. The chat was giving out winner after winner, and I just wasn't listening. So, all right, let's get to work. Charlotte, Washington is next up. And what's Gas saying? Oh, yeah. Cali Kingpin won on Saturday. Sam used to set a new track record. Yeah, incredible. What a barn the Sushi family has. Okay, Charlotte, Washington. So Charlotte opens up as 2.5-point favorite set, quickly moves to 3.5. This total opened up at 231.5 and has dropped to 228.5. There's Rashad Davids. Rashad Davids gifting me a winner, and I was still okay. And Captain 24/7 says Knicks killed my 10-teamer last night. That was the only thing I got right was the okay. Let's get out all that negative energy. Hornets in their last 5 are 3-2, and their pace is last in the association. Very slow, 92.96 possessions a game. Hornets in the last 5 are 2-3. Their pace is first in the NBA at 103.50 possessions a game. Polo this, polo that. Russell triple-double off the board now. Wow. I wonder if he will not be in the lineup. Hornets had their 3-game winning streak snapped on Sunday afternoon in a 101-97 overtime loss at home to the Suns. Devontae Graham led the Hornets with 30 points. Scary Terry Rozier, 22 points, 10 boards. Miles Bridges, 18 and 12. Hayward, 15. Malik Monk didn't dress, and he's been running hot. He's listed as, because he had a sore right foot, he's listed as probable for this evening. Rashad, I love it. Thank you. I'll be listening. The Wizards are on the second half of a back-to-back after winning their second straight game, 132-124 last night at home over the Pacers. Westbrook, 35 points, 21 assists, 14 boards. NBA leading 16th triple-double. Say what you want about Russell Westbrook. You can like him or dislike him. He plays out of control at times, but he fights, and he doesn't give up. And I've been impressed with what he's done on this team. Illwise, solo UCLA over right there. David Sharp, Hornets are 5-1 to the under in the last 6. Wizards have been smashing when Beal or Wall sits. Brady says, I like Charlotte here. Pop that up here. Fading Washington Rockets, mini off wins, something I like to do, and it pays. Charlotte, I like a lot here. Yeah, I like Charlotte here, especially after getting hurt by the Wizards last night. Rui Hachimura, 26 points. Chandler Hutchinson, 18 in his debut. And then they lose Daniel Gafford. That was sad. He hurt his right ankle late in the fourth. He's going to be out for an extended period. And Edmonton first period from Robert Cherry. That makes a ton of sense. Gerald Jones says Hornets my only NBA here. And Trotwam talking to Mally Mal on Clippers on back-to-back. That's right. Clippers 8-0 on back-to-backs, but we'll get to that. So Davis Bertans remains out. This is their third game in 4 nights. Teron Hopkins on Hornets-Hawks first quarterback. Hornets-Hawks first quarter. This has to be a Hornets spot. Ron Crawford in the house. Ron Crawford, we've missed you, man. Johnny K liking the Hornets. It just has to be a Hornets spot. And I should have bet it early, but at least I talked it out with you guys. Hornets sitting at 23-22. Get Malik Monk back. Their guards are going to be running like crazy. Westbrook's either tired or not in the lineup. Beal coming back from injury. So Beal sat out with a bruised hip. It's expected that he's going to be back tonight, but there's been no confirmation. Okay, so let's move on to 9 p.m. Eastern. Next spot on the board, Philadelphia 76ers at Denver Nuggets. Sixers 32-14, 13-10 on the road at Denver Nuggets, 28-18, 13-9 at home. Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Here we go. The total opened up at 222 and is down to 220.5. The Nuggets opened up at -3.5 and is climbing fast. It's now at 4.5 or 5. And the play of the day came in earlier, sitting at 3-0. JoJo 3-0 since we started the show back up. I'll bet JoJo Rich is on the Clippers. And David Sharp's on the over 220. Tempted to take 76ers money line. I wanted to hear from the chat. All right, let's talk about it. Sixers 4-1 in their past 5, playing very good ball without Embiid. 19th in pace over the last 5, 97.47 possessions a game. Nuggets are 3-2, and they're 28th in pace at 95 possessions a game. The Czar is on over assist with Tobias Harris. I wonder what that number is. And here we go. Thanking the chat. See, Robert Cherry was listening, and I wasn't. Bleds W loving Sixers money line today. Michael Irvelina loving the over. All right, let's break it down further. Sixers had their 4-game winning streak snapped in a 122-112 loss at the Clippers on Saturday. Tobias Harris, another big game, 29 points for the Sixers, and that snapped their 6-game road winning streak. Danny Green, 17. Shake Milton, 16. Ben Simmons, 15 before fouling out in the fourth. And back to Green. Danny Green scored in double figures in 6 straight games for the first time since December 2014. Dwight Howard was ejected for the 2nd straight game when he picked up 2 techs with 10 and change left in the fourth, went for 9 and 11. Embiid and Hill remain out of the lineup. Mally Mouse says no Embiid will hurt them versus Jokic, no doubt. Birdie says I bet 76ers on the spread, but I am not confident. Teron Hopkins says hate backing Nuggets off the win. JoJo Rich is also on 76ers at +6. And the Czar says Harris getting teammates involved since Embiid injury. A. Hilly, ready to rock and roll. Alex Gagnon says, can we talk about taking the Cavs up? We sadly had to talk about it off the top. It was a terrible, terrible decision I made, Alex Gagnon. And it cost me $200 with the double up. Yeah, it was terrible, Alex. There's Canadian Capper in the house. Pride of Windsor, Ontario. Viper MB says he's on 76ers too. Yeah, Alex, it's been a terrible season for me. And, the one thing I will always do is be honest about this shit. And the Czar was on Jazz first half. God, what a thick-headed, terrible decision I made. Okay, the Nuggets have won 3 of 4. They're coming off a dominant 126-102 win at home over the Hawks. And I can understand why Toronto doesn't want to go back to the Nuggets, after a win. But this is a team that has new excitement with Aaron Gordon back in the lineup, in the lineup, 13 points in 21 minutes in his debut, moving Millsap to the bench. I think that's a really good look for this team. JaVale McGee was also traded, but he didn't play. JaMychal Green led Denver with season-high 20 points. Jamal Murray goes for 17. Jokic, 16 points, 10 boards, 8 assists. Michael Porter Jr., 15 points and 10 boards. Mal saying Jokic didn't even play at all in the fourth quarter. Yeah, Alex Gagnon, it hurt, my man. Robert Cherry asking about how you can find that first basket stat across the NBA. Crucial piece of data. That's a good question. I don't know if I've ever seen percentages on that. Who gets it most of the time? That's a good call. Chuck and six God in the house. So Monte Morris left quad strain, missed his 9th straight game. Gary Clark, who was acquired from Orlando, he's not even with the team at this point. So who knows what's going to happen there. So Denver sitting as 5-point favorites at home. They're a dangerous squad. And I'm hesitant to make a move on either side. Spenny Pennybomb says, is Embiid in tonight? No. As far as I know, it's a straight no. Polo This says Denver too deep. They will dominate the second half of the game. I agree with that. But I don't want to be – I'm kind of missing the line move. I guess if you can get it at 5. Let's see what the leading indicator books open this at. Okay, the leading indicator books opened at 4.5. So it was the offshores with limits that opened it at 3.5. Just feels like it's going to be Nuggets again. It just – so I think that when we watch the Nuggets so poorly deliver on the second game after a win, that might change. Here we go, Al Mack, a great note here. Denver cashing at a 60% rate on the over, making them the 5th best team to back in the NBA on overs. That's beautiful. The dude abides. Michael Porter, over 23.5 points, 3 assists. That's a good look. And Wham, like in the over in the Denver game, especially first quarter, over 56. Jerry Beatty says, don't overthink it. Denver first half is my max bet. Spenny says there's no way they can handle them down low without Embiid. There's Jay Stone. Ready to rock and roll. Thank you for joining us, Jay. The Czar is on Tobias Harris over 3.5 assists, Bacon over 15 points. If Ross doesn't play, I'd be surprised, very surprised if Ross plays. If even Ross comes back, that's the kind of guy he is. This team is terrible, and he doesn't have a lot of heart. Okay. So the question is here, do we trust the Nuggets to carry over this excitement with Aaron Gordon in the lineup? And was that Sixers run that they were on an outlier? That's the question. And it probably is. What spot? Let me just quickly see, and this will just take a second. How many games have they been on the road now? I'm sorry, I should have had this information already for us. And it's been a long trip. And I wonder if it'd be nice if this was the last game of this trip. If this is the last game of this trip, and then we can expect them to just, be ready to go home. They're going to have a winning trip, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me find out right now. Here we go. Sorry, one more click, and we're going to be there. So this is no, they have Cleveland on Thursday. So this is a 7-game trip. They look great in the first 4. Then they lose to the Clippers. I wonder if they lose to Denver and don't push it and then go into Cleveland and try to get a win before this trip ends. Rashad Davids, Jamal Murray, over 2.5 3-pointers made. Gonna copy and paste that right now. RJ Fabro is on Denver Sixers under. I'll copy and paste that. Johnny Casey's another. I'm going to stay off the total, but I am going to move on the Nuggets. Eddie Oiler says Embiid will likely return for the first game back on Saturday versus Minnesota. That makes a ton of sense. All right, I'm going to move on to Nuggets. And Alex Gagnon saying that Clips rested PG last night so that they can play tonight. So he can play tonight. Okay, we're going to move on to the next spot on this card. Orlando Magic at LA Clippers. James Lill also on the Nuggets. It's going to be such a public spot. Let's just see how public it is. Let's just see how public it is here quickly. How public is it going to be? I fear NBA so much right now. All right, let's move over here to NBA and see what we are dealing with. These 71% and 77%. By the way, the Hornets only have 53% of the tickets and like 75% of the cash. Teron Hopkins, that's not as big as I thought. Matthew Whitaker is passing, I get it. Okay. All right, let's move on. Magic Clippers here, Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. And we're dealing with this wild stat of how good the Clip show has been on the second half of back-to-backs. Clippers open up as 10.5-point favorites. That moves to 11. There is an 11.5, a few 11.5s on the board. Wow. This total opened up at 218.5 and it's down to 215. Under, says Jerry Beatty. What moves did David Sharp make? David Sharp says, do the Sixers score 107? If so, game goes over. Are they scoring 107 on these Nuggets? There's Jason Albert in the house. Great to see you, Jay. Okay. And very interesting stuff here from our Robert Cherry, OG Lowbagger here. So if anyone can figure out where we can find that stat. And very interesting stuff from the puzzler here. The puzzler. This guy's a Batman villain. Let's get to work. Magic last 5 are 1 win and 4 losses, 25th in pace at 95.90 possessions a game. Clippers last 5-5-0. 24th in pace at 96.40 possessions a game. Charlie Hopkins says, can we really back the Magic plus the points here? Look, I'd like to. But you saw what happened to me on the Dogs yesterday. The Magic have lost 4 or 5. This is one of those situations where the Magic care very much and the Clippers don't care at all. Magic coming off 96-93 loss at the Lakers on Sunday. They've been in LA for a couple of days, but they haven't been out partying. Eddie Willis says Clippers won last meeting 116-90 like that. They're coming. Dwayne Bacon led the Magic with 26. Okeke still playing well, 14 points. They've lost 13 of 15. Wendell Carter Jr., Hampton, and Porter played their first games for Orlando after being acquired in trades. All 3 came off the bench. Hampton, 10 points, 17 minutes. Carter, 8 points in 20 minutes. Porter, 5 points in 25 minutes. You can expect them to be better. Michael Carter-Williams suffered a right knee contusion during the second quarter and did not return. He was scoreless in 13 minutes. And Taron Ross missed his 7th straight game. Yeah, I expect Kawhi to sit. For sure I do, David Sharp. But we did this last time. You know what? And it didn't help last time. Ray Williams says, don't back teams laying over in LA for multiple days. I mean, that's usually the situation. So do we think even in this COVID era that we should not back them? Jerry B says, Clippers defense against depleted Orlando. Under. The Czar says, Bacon tonight points. He knows no one can score. That's true. I wouldn't mind checking that out. No, that's absolutely true, Czar. Absolutely true. Let's take a little look. 11.5 now? I mean, worst case scenario, I take the 11.5. Kawhi's announced out, and this time at least this time I know to go for the middle. So no player props because he's expected to be out. This are already bet Magic. Oh, look at that. MHP says Ross is probable. RJ Fabro on Magic first half. Look, God, I'm just such a glutton for punishment here. Well, I don't even know if you... Okay. I'm going to take the Magic at plus 11.5. And Alex Gagnon... I will... Should I not, Viper? I mean, should I just not do this? God, I mean, that was such a big game last night against the Bucks. Okay, let's talk about it. The Clippers come off their 6th straight win, 129-105 at home over the Bucks last night. Marcus Morris goes for 25. Kawhi Leonard, 23. Luke Kennard sees 9-21. Reggie Jackson adds 20. Kennard starting in place of Paul George. 4 threes in a row during a big stretch in the fourth quarter. Viper says, even if you win, it's not worth the stress. And Alex says, you should not do this. I get it. Cabin 24/7 says, Clippers are too good. Krishan says they won't get up for this game. Ski Profit in the house. Yeah, and that didn't work for me last time. Johnny K's on the Magic plus the points. I don't need them to win at plus 11.5. I just need them to play hard. And Eddie Leonard said after Monday's victory, we need everybody engaged, even guys who are not getting minutes. Alex Gagnon says Clippers are known to show up back-to-back games. They sure are. The Czar said I took Clippers last night knowing I was taking the Magic tonight. I should just stop doing this. All right. Trawam says toenail Clippers or pass. All right, I'm going to put 3 question marks beside it. Maybe I just need to. Ugh. God, terrible. Pull this thing, stay off. What? Why do I want to take the Magic plus 11? What sick issue is it? Jong O is on the Clippers and Magic tonight. Okay, I'll stop reading his comments. Okay, next up we have the Atlanta Hawks at Phoenix Suns, 10 p.m. Eastern. The Suns open up at 5.5. It's 5.5 point favorites, and they are now at 6. I see a higher number here, and that doesn't make sense. Let me just see if that's a stale line here. No, they're 6 point favorites across the board right now. The total here opened at 222.5 and is now down to 220.5. Okay. Oh, Dennis telling me to pass. I should just pass. JR saying not enough. Okay. Hawks pace last 5, 27th in the NBA, 95.10 possessions a game. They're 2 wins and 3 losses. Suns pace last 5, they're 4-1. They're 26th in the NBA, 95.31 possessions a game. Phoenix, Arizona. Atlanta coming off their 3rd loss in 4 games, 106-102, beat down at Denver. This is their 6th game of an 8-game road trip. They're 2-3 so far. Trae Young scored 21 points, but had 7 turnovers. 7 turnovers, 7 assists. Gallinari had 14 points against his former team. And Hey Listen says Magic feels like the exact same spot as the Cavs yesterday. Should stop betting with unmotivated teams. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Okay, I'm just going to take it off. Now they'll cover for sure. Jerry Beatty says, is Lou Will playing? Yes. What I've read is that Lou will be in the lineup. Lee Tolliver on Suns money line and under 218.5 together for a plus 185 for our man Lee Tolliver. All right. So DeAndre Hunter missed his 3rd straight game with right knee soreness. So he's not done anything in 3 days. He's not going to be there tonight. And Lou Williams is joining the team in Phoenix. Is he going to play? He's definitely going to be with the team. Mal says definitely lean Atlanta with Lou Will in. Sweaty Butcher with some great stuff here. Let's get that up here right away. Oh, we have some guys coming in on Facebook as well. Oh. Okay. Jeez, I'm not even going to put that up. I'm not even going to put that up. Maybe I should just for you guys. All right. This guy, he was cured of his herpes. So I just wanted to give a quick testimonial. Great stuff. Great stuff. We don't really want to hear about the cure. What we want to hear is how you got it. So put that in the chat. Let's hear how it happened. Talk slow. Okay. The Czar says Hunter is a game time decision. Chris Dunn won't play against the Suns. Ankle injury. He's been out for a while. All right. The Suns are coming off a 101-97 overtime win at Charlotte on Sunday afternoon. Booker, 35 points. Chris Paul, 16. DeAndre Ayton, 14. Mikal Bridges, 13, 8, and 6 steals. Their defense with Mikal Bridges and Torrey Craig has gotten so good. This is a healthy group that's just rolling for a nice seed in the playoffs. But there's a lot of truth, and do you want to back a team that is coming in off of a 4-game road trip, first game back at home, and it's not the best time to back a team. Also, you have these teams playing at such a slow pace, 27th and 26th. That's why this game's going under, or at least that's why people are betting the under, and that makes a ton of sense to me. Robert Cherry on Booker first basket and Ayton over 10.5 boards. Spenny Pennybomb says Atlanta first half money line, Charlotte money line, Denver money line parlay. Jerry Beatty says if Louisville makes his debut, I'm on the Hawks. God, these teams are playing so slow. 95 possessions a game each. I feel like I need to take the under here. Fap's on the first half under. David Sharp's on Hawks first half plus 4.5. Hawks are 8-2 against spread in their last 10. Suns are 4-5-1 at the half against the spread. Feels like an under. I mean, the tricky thing is when you're trusting the pace numbers, look at the Clippers pace. 24th in the NBA, 96.4 possessions a game, and they're scoring, they're lights out. Scoring so much. Fap on that first half under. Yeah, I agree that Ayton doesn't play. I mean, God, he's built like he should be a beast, but he can get bullied. Ski Profit agreeing on he's leaning to the under. You just have these guys 95 possessions a game, and they're giving you a 220.5. Yeah, I'm gonna. And Ski saying the Clippers play to their opponent's pace. Clippers can just beat you every which way. David Sharp saying both teams are 4-6 to the first half under. Oliver B, we're going to get right into the tourney. We've been on a nice run there, even though I went 1-1 yesterday, but we've been on a nice run. So let's just – I can do this here. Let's just move on this under. Oh, I want to see what the Hawks are first half. Sorry. So we see a bunch of people moving on them first half. +3, +3.5. All right, I'm going to move on the under. Full game under here. 220.5. I hope I get that number. In the Hawks, Suns. All right, so I'm coming off a 1-6 day in NBA. If it helps to fade me, then fade away. But I'm going to make 4 moves in the NBA. I'm going to take the Hornets. I'm going to take Nuggets first half and full game. And I'm going to take the full game under 220.5. And I'll leave the Magic alone. So thank you. I'm listening. Now, the Sweaty Butcher is on the under 215.5 for Orlando and the Clippers. And that makes a ton of sense to me. Let's just see that market move very quickly. I'm out first half. Let's go to the full game market move. It's already dropped 3 points, so that's past my threshold for betting. Johnny K says, like all those. Well, that's if I can have a winning day in NBA, then that's how I'm going to do the rest of the year. I'm just going to listen. Stop being this bullheaded asshole that's costing my family money. How the fuck am I going to get out of a 1-bedroom apartment in Parkdale? I got 2 kids that need to be fed, and I'm throwing money in the gutter. Makes me want to fucking smash something. Okay. All right, let's go into college basketball here. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on odds.com. We have NCAA basketball, Elite 8, and we have been on a very nice run. So the tourney started out awful. Why does everything have to be so hard? Round 1, we went 7-14, down 8.35 units. Round 2, we went 7-1, up 6.05 units. And in fact, we were down worse than that in round 1. We won the last 3 or 4 games to get 7-14. Round 2, 7-1 plus 6.05 units. Sweet 16, we went 2-1 plus 0.95 units. And in the Elite 8, we're 1-1 right now. Bleds W says, where is Max, Jimmy? I wish he was here beside me, man. And there will be a lot more of Max and myself together. I can promise you that. All right. Here we go. USC Trojans, Gonzaga Bulldogs. We're at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's take a look at this market move. And I have been waiting very patiently for Gonzaga to be tested. Very patiently. And they haven't been. This opened up at 9.5. I got it at 9. I'm on +9 on USC. And it's almost out of curiosity. I almost just want to see how the Gonzaga bigs handle the Mobley brothers. And Taj Edey changes everything for USC. And I know Gonzaga knows Edey well from his days in Santa Clara. But right now, I just felt like 9 was too many points. Gonzaga is rolling. 29-0 on the season. They're the 14th team to stay at number 1 from start to finish in the AP top 25. The previous 13 made it to at least the national semifinals, and 7 have gone on to win. It's a good sign for them. They've made it look very easy so far. We talk about their offensive exploits all the time, and we don't talk about their defensive exploits. But let's talk about it just one more time. Let's talk about their offense. 92.1 points per game. 55.1% from the field. 36.5% from 3. I mean, it's unbelievable. There is an expectation that Jalen Suggs will be a top 3 pick if he decides to enter the draft. Let's see what Almac has. So Almac has Dogs have covered 7 of the last 10, Elite 8, dating back to 2018, 12 of the last 18, dating back to 2016. There's Jacket in the house. And there's the article. And there's Spenny Pennybaum's taking USC first half +5 and USC money line +215. So I tried to do what Spenny's doing. I took Oklahoma first half. I thought maybe Austin Reeves could give Jalen Suggs some pressure because Jalen had a bad first game. And Oklahoma was up 8 in that first half. And I was like, ah, and it didn't cash. Dennis Garcia said, Gonzaga wins every game by double digits. See no reason to change that opinion now. Puzzler says, I think USC can disrupt Timmy. And Yvonne Reynolds says, Jimmy can't wait for college football. I miss Big Ragu and John Ryan. Yeah, you will see lots more of both of them. And Almac is making a giant bet on Michigan -6.5. Well, I like hearing that because I've got Michigan 16-1. Okay, so let's keep going here. Let's talk about their Bulldogs defense. So 7th in Ken Palm's adjusted efficiency, 88.6 points they allow per 100 possessions. They've held opponents below their scoring average in 20 games, including, and most importantly, the past 6. In Sunday's 83-65 win against Creighton, Creighton shot 41%, made 5 of 23 from 3. Samuto, we don't know yet. We don't know if he's going to be out. Johnny K likes both dogs. I'm on both dogs here as well. But UCLA is just for a middle. USC is going to be a test. They've shot 54.8% in the tourney. Wins over Drake, Kansas, and Oregon. And Oregon was an athletic group. They reached their first Elite 8 in 20 years. Against the Jayhawks and the Ducks, USC went 21 of 35 from 3, 60%. I mean, that's Gonzaga talk. The Mobley brothers will test this front court. Yvonne Reynolds says, whoever bet on USC and UCLA is brave. Larry U. Wood is on Bulldogs. The Sweaty Butcher, much love. Thank you for stopping by, my guy. The Trojans are defending the three-point line pretty well. They've allowed 32% shooting from 3. Mobley, Evan, 16.3 points, 8.8 boards. He's going to be a top 3 pick in the draft if he enters. And Kispert, if we're talking about Jalen Suggs and Mobley, looks like he's turned himself into a lottery pick. Taj Edey, 13.7 points and hits 39% from 3. He is so crucial. If anybody's backing USC, you got to hope that Taj Edey is going to go bucket for bucket with Jalen. This is a guy who's much older than Jalen Suggs and has to take advantage of that. So there we go. Trojans, Bulldogs. I'm on the Trojans +9. And I can completely understand anybody who's on the other side. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Then we move on to the 9:57 p.m. Eastern start. UCLA Bruins versus number 1 Michigan Wolverines, Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Money keeps coming in on UCLA. Dennis Garcia says, if I make any play, they'll be on UCLA. They can win this game. Let's just see quickly here where the market is. Let's just quickly see where the market is on that first game, USC Gonzaga. So 60% of the tickets are on Gonzaga, 54% of the cash. And this is very interesting. 56% of the tickets are on the over, but 59% of the cash is on the under. You're a good man, Eddie Euler, and our little Tyson Berry debate will go on, my friend. But yeah, you're right. You've won it so far. Okay. So let's see where the money is in UCLA, Michigan. UCLA, Michigan. 68% of the cash is on Michigan, 58% of the tickets. We have 51% of the cash on the over and 69% of the tickets on the over. And here we come to the taint play of the day. That's 3-0 so far on the live show. It's Matt Randall's Michigan UCLA over. Nathan Serta says, I kind of like the points with UCLA for insurance, but I can see Michigan winning by 7 or 8. This is my first middle of the entire year or entire tournament. So I've waited till now to middle, and it's it is what it is. But the over we got at 134.5 for taint, and this over has moved to 136. Although there is a 135.5 on the board. And Matt Randall says, if you see him winning by 7 or 8, then the over is the play. Okay, let's talk about UCLA in the Elite Eight for the first time since 2008. How much fun is this? UCLA, Michigan. Come on, it's like a Celtics Lakers NBA final. UCLA has had a wild tourney, man. 21-9 on the year. They open with an overtime win over Michigan State. Then they shut down BYU completely. They destroy Abilene Christian. Then they beat up on Alabama and they went up tempo against Alabama, which we thought was going to run them into the ground. Well, I didn't bet on Alabama, but the thought process was that this was going to happen. Matt Randall says UCLA will fight to the end, can make free throws, second half over is also a look. Yeah, John Puffer, we did, but we'll go over it. And John Puffer, you may just want to fade all my action from the way I'm going in NBA. All right. Here we go. All right. Talayu, TGBF, there's certain rules we have here. One is no spamming. So you've said that twice. Whatever the hell that is, don't say it again. Okay. The Wolverines have had a very comfortable run through this tournament, much like Gonzaga. They beat up on Texas Southern, got by LSU, then smashed Florida State. Now, obviously, Gonzaga has made it look easier. Florida State coach Leonard Hamilton said they were almost flawless in their execution. So we talked all about, and the gas station saying Tiger seemingly getting better with every game. He sure has. Eddie Euler saying UCLA has been surprising, but Michigan's no joke. Yeah, David Sharp. Yeah. Okay. So much has been made about losing Isaiah Livers to a stress fracture. At least it's even because UCLA lost Chris Smith. UCLA is long and athletic with Juzang, and Jaquez Jr. Cody Riley is being a beast, and he's going to have his hands full of Hunter Dickinson, and vice versa. Cody Riley's coming into his own. The thing is that with Wagner, it's too bad they don't have Livers. But other than Dickinson, the front court of Michigan is tall and athletic in defense, and it's going to be very tough on UCLA. Very tough. Yeah, I hear you, Ray Charles, but I'm also just doing a shit job. Al Mack said the only reason UCLA got past Alabama is Alabama shot 11-25 from the line. That won't happen again. I hear you. All right, so I have a UCLA ticket. I bet it at plus 7.5, but I made it an official pick when that number was done. So it's a 7 for record-keeping purposes. But I bet it as soon as it dropped. Q Dizzle says, does USC have a chance? God, I think that they can force Gonzaga into uncomfortable defensive situations. But if USC can't defend that perimeter with a vengeance, then they're going to lose like every other team does. I mean, you got this Bulldog team shooting 55.1% from the field. I mean, it's very tough to stop. And you have to be alert on the perimeter for 40 minutes. You can't let up. And David Sharp says, Al Mack got me putting a fat bet on Michigan with these stats. And Johnny K says, hell yeah, they do. Hey, Johnny K, if he's on it, then you're in good company. All right, Spenny Penny Bombs leaning UCLA. Okay, let's review our action for Tuesday, March 30th. We are 48 hours away from MLB season starting. Things are going to get hectic on this show. We're going to be moving quick. And then also, we are very close to getting back to our horse racing roots. And I will tell you guys more about that as we move through the week. Okay. All right, let's go over, and don't forget, so I'll remind everybody, 10 play today. Okay, let's go. Fab win. We have lots of discussions to go with MLB, but yes, most definitely. There's JL in the house. Jerry Beatty saying USC size will keep this game under. And Mark Rosado Baseball Show Thursday. Look, Mark, my man. I hope you guys like baseball, because there will be baseball every day for the foreseeable future. JL, I missed it too. I promise we're going to get back in action. Dutch Boy Fresh, ever since you left this show, I've been losing. I need Dutch Boy Fresh back in my life. Okay, here we go. I'm off of Devils, Boston Bruins, but I am telling you, if DeBrusque, Corrali, and Marchand come back, if Marchand and just one of those guys come back, and it is then said that they didn't have COVID, that it was safety protocol, I will back the Bruins. If not, I'm just going to stay off of it. I'm on the under 6. Eddie Oler saying Halak and goal, got it earlier, under 5.5. Nice job, Eddie. I'm on the under 6 in Capitals Rangers. I'm on the over 5.5 in Jackets Lightning. And I'm on the under 5.5 in Red Wings Florida. This is the first time all year that I have not had a side and I've only had totals. And Mr. Ghost already pulled the trigger on the over. Wow. And Birdie says Devil's money line is the play. So that's it for me in NHL. Then we move on to I said the Hurricanes under 6, right? I only have 4 bets, right? I'm on the under 6 in Hurricanes Blackhawks, the under 5.5 in Red Wings Panthers, the over 5.5 in Jackets Lightning, and the under 6 in Rangers Capitals. All right. Then in NBA, and when you hear these numbers, know that I'm getting killed and on my worst run of my life. I'm on the Hornets full game. I'm on the Nuggets first half and full game. And I am on the under 220.5 in Hawks Suns. C-Mac, you're right. 4-1 against them this year, but I think that gives the Bruins bulletin board material. Then in NCAA, I'm on both dogs. I got 9 on USC, and I got 7.5 when I bet it, but for show I didn't tweet it. I was late at night. It was right as soon as it dropped after the game. And I got 7 on UCLA, and the UCLA bet is simply a middle. That's it. Oh, C-Mac, God, I mean, you guys have run with me for 4 years and 3 years of ending the season up double digits. Actually, that's not true because the last season I ended up 9.2 units, but I just – oh, wow. Ghost is on waivers. Oh, Johnny K, you nailed it. Isn't he perfect for the Penguins? Somebody's going to pick him up. You guys, this show is all special. This show is special because of you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being here every day, capping with me, and all your insights. And, you know, I come in so angry and upset over last night, and you guys get me out of it right away, and I'll be forever thankful. Big shout out to our man Nilo, celebrating his 43rd birthday today. Big shout out to our man Nate Dogg, whose daughter was born last week. And big shout out to David Summers, whose mom is getting better. She's felt all the love and energy, and her health is improving. So big love to those 3 guys, especially. Taint Play of the Day is running hot. And the market he heard that what the taint is on. It's the over in UCLA, Michigan, over 134.5. Love you guys. Fat win coming out of Australia. Xavier Oliver, Tim Montana, Alex Ramirez started Spidey play today. Gerald Jones, Birdie, Toronto Hopkins, Eddie Euler, David Sharp, Hawks first half plus 4.5, 76ers money line, 76ers Nuggets over 220.5. That's not mine. That almost scared the shit out of me. No, okay, thank God. I do not want to go up against my man David Sharp. There he is, the birthday boy right there. Nilo, it's a process. Robert Cherry, Mr. Gokester, Viper NB, Mark Rosado, Champino, Birdie, C-Mac, Robert Cherry, Trot Wham. Man, you guys make this special, and I'll be forever thankful. And I can't wait till this pandemic gets away so we can party together in person. But any low bagger out there who wants to party in Vegas, Kentucky Derby weeks when everybody will be out there. All right. Let's get paid in full. Oh, we have the freshest look. Dutch Boy Fresh. Dutch Boy Fresh. Freshest look in the house. A little late action for my Dutch Boy Fresh. Sudanshu, thank you. And let's please have Nilo's birthday. Bless us all. We also have Yellow Jesus blessing our picks. All right. Leche. Hey, those bookmakers. That's fucking good.